What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be starting a new project. Behind me, we have the F80 M3, and in some of the previous videos, I've told you guys that we are going to be painting this car, and me and Paul decided we were going to put together a video series on this particular car where we will teach you guys how to paint a car properly or how not to paint a car, whichever one comes first. So to get started, what we need to do, we need to completely strip everything off of this car.
Whoa. We need to wash it first.
Oh, that's true. So before we get started, we need to wash everything, make sure that there is no dirt and grime, and also to make sure that we can see all the dents and all the rock chips and all the scratches that need to be repaired. So let's wash it real quick, and then we'll get to stripping it down. Now that we have the car all cleaned up, we are going to go around the entire car and we are going to mark every single thing that needs to be fixed. What have you seen so far, Paul?
Well, I feel like they should put the sticker a little higher. Look at all this. This is
wow.
Here, it's just
it's all like little tiny micro rock chips. And it's crazy because that shows you that this sticker right here is actually doing its job.
Yeah.
It's just not enough.
Yeah, if it was like up to here, but then another rock chip here, and then circle that dent. And then you got someone got real close to a concrete wall. Another rock chip on the pillar. The front end has been repainted and it's full of trash. Which it could be buffed, but if you're gonna be spraying everything else, you might as well respray it.
And I do believe there's a big, massive dent on the hood as well.
Yeah, somewhere.
It's like in the middle,
Right
I
here.
think.
There's a big old, look like someone sat on it.
Yep.
And then it's full of bad paintwork, like someone painted over rock chips. Another nick or rock chip or something right there. You can put that light on this side.
Oh, and then look right here. I wonder what this is. This is very interesting right here. These little rock chips. You see how it's like?
Yeah, look, it's all the way up here. Too.
Yeah, it's chipped up. It's so weird.
Buffer's all dent right here. Big
Look at this massive dent.
Another one right here. That probably done by the forklift driver.
Most likely.
Another one right there. That's some woman putting groceries in the back. She's not strong enough to lift it.
Is that what it was?
That's what it is. Go look at it. Did you see the back of Vita's car? That stroller was just like, bouncing off the back of that bumper. This side's a little worse.
Man, Paul, my Sharpie's running out of ink. The entire roof has to be resprayed. It's this weird, some sort of, I don't know what that is, but we need to take care of that because
I'm pretty sure that the factory forgot to paint it. But
the factory.
Sorry, we got it.
Some of these M3s, the ones that don't have sunroofs, they for some reason don't put any paint on the roof.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's interesting.
But we'll paint it.
Is that it?
I believe so. It's really not that bad. Other than, I thought we were gonna paint over it for like extra protection.
Well, see, that's why I removed that way.
Yeah, that's a good thing you did that because it definitely would.
If I didn't do that, you probably would have painted over it.
Right over it.
All right. Obviously, we need to take this off.
Is he putting a wing back on it?
I don't know, but oh, look at that. Hail. Why is there only one?
Because that's not hail.
Probably a mad ex-girlfriend.
I think that's it. Oh, they did try to buff this hood.
Oh yeah, they did. There's a bunch of dry spots and stuff.
Look at that. Can you pick that up on the camera? I mean, I wouldn't have done it much better, but maybe a little better than that.
Oh yeah.
We need old Larry for Mammo over here to show us how to polish.
That's very rough. Wow. I didn't even realize how bad it was until I just now started filming it.
Well, because we washed it.
We marked all the dents and all the rock chips and whatnot that need to be fixed. I marked the PPF here that needs to be removed, the little rock chips. There's a little ding there. And as you can see, the bumper here is damaged. We've got quite a bit of dents on the rear bumper, and we've got one little ding up here. So now that we have everything marked and we know where all the dents and dings are, we can go ahead and strip everything down. We need to remove the side skirts. We need to remove the rear bumper, the tail lights, all the door handles, all these window moldings need to be removed. The door mirrors have to go, the fender trims, everything, basically anything that's touching a surface that will be painted needs to go, right, Paul?
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we don't want any tape lines and we don't want any, we want our clear.
I mean, it's just going to be easier to handle. But, I mean, by the book, all this stuff has to come off.
Yeah, because you want your clear to roll over all these edges and get locked in behind all the trim. So we're going to take that off and then we are going to start fixing the dents.
Fix the dents and then hopefully paint it next week.
Yes, sir. Bam, just like that, super easy.
Did you work at the factory? And
I did. I was the only guy in Germany who was certified to remove these.
Makes sense.
So we've removed everything off of the vehicle that needs to be removed. As you guys can see, all the little trim pieces are gone. We took all the little clips that hold the trims. So you got to clean all up inside there. We want to make sure that our paint and clear rolls over all of that. We removed all the door handles, all the door moldings, and now we are starting on the actual prep work for the paint. And the first thing Paul is going to do is remove this residue from the sticker. What you got in your hand there, Paul?
This is it's usually used for this, but if you want to use it for something else, like I don't know, use your imagination.
You could probably use it for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
You can annoy your neighbors with it.
Very easily. It works good for like this 3M double-sided tape or some kind of stickers.
Well, let's see it in action.
Actually, it won't hurt the paint. A lot of people think that this will hurt the paint. I think it would take a lot.
I bet I could hurt the paint with it.
Yeah, you probably could. You just have to hold it in one spot.
that, Mike?
Hey man, you could have just taped that up. You see what I'm saying?
Look, now tell me how you're gonna tape that up.
You can put tape around there. You gotta be just slow.
And then this guy, a year later.
Hey, he just said it. You gotta be just slow.
You gotta be slow to do
You
something.
gotta
like
be
that.
slow.
Just a slow person.
No.
Bro, look, first of all, what was gonna happen to all that right there? See that? How are you gonna clean that out before you paint it? You can't. So that would have all got into your paint.
Mike, let me ask you something. Did you see out there on that sign, did it say Mako?
Mako.
Mako. Did it say Mako on that
No,
sign?
it don't say that.
It don't say Mako out there.
certified.
That's right, certified.
Certified auto.
Certified
Paint.
Certified forklift operator.
Yes. I'm the lawnmower guy though. I really prefer weed eating.
The only person who's certified here is our accountant.
You prefer eating weed?
No, I said weed eating.
Oh, weed eating.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, but it's in the same era though. You see what I'm saying?
All right, so we got the fuel cap door off, and that is the last thing that needed to be removed. Oh man, Mike, how would you go about removing the PPF around the quarter panels there?
The PPF.
Yeah, you see where it says remove?
Yeah.
Take it off. Can you get it off?
I know you got those big old fingernails.
You got that one pinky nail that's real big. It's like a little scoop.
We're gonna probably have to get a razor blade.
Oh, no, you're fired. You're fired. Man said a razor blade. I'd take a razor blade. I'd take a razor blade to one of these.
Hey, well, the thing is, I was gonna,
I'd say probably heat it up with a heat gun.
What is this?
That's PPF.
What's PPL?
You see all these little rock chips right here?
Yeah.
That's supposed to prevent them. So you see, there ain't no rock chips down here, but where they didn't put it, they got
rock chips.
Yep.
PPF is paint protection film.
You need to put that on your mower to keep it from getting rock chips.
Haha, that's funny. You mean grass stains.
All right, here you go, sir.
You don't want to heat it up too much. If you heat it up too much, it's gonna.
Are you cold, Michael?
Yeah, they don't got cold. And my blood thin.
I don't know, man. You look like you got some seal blubber on you.
That's what I didn't I just say that? Oh, it's gonna be more heat than that.
Oh, you think so?
Is it, Mike? You think of my first rodeo?
Look at that, Michael. Look at that.
Hey, buddy. What was you at?
Just waiting for you.
Look at that. Only a little bit of residue there. Just a little bit.
Dang, Paul. Have you ever done that before?
You only
Hey,
need,
sir,
this
I can
stuff
have-
actually comes off very easily. You only need to heat it up just on the corner to pry it up. If you put too much heat on it, then the glue will stay on the car.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm taking this cat from the house.
Boy, you ain't taking that cat nowhere.
I'm taking my cat home.
I'll kid. Yeah, she was the star of our last video.
Mike, you ain't got enough animals.
Hey, what's about the puppy? You find him at home?
No, I got my puppy at home.
You gonna keep
What
him?
you talking about? If I have to, I will.
How many you got left?
We got paint.
Now that we have the PPF all removed, what is next, Michael?
Well, my buddy said meow, and my whole attention just went toward him now. So I don't know what to say because I'm playing with the cat and not having fun.
That's what happens to me sometimes. All right, so now that we removed the PPF, it is time to start the bodywork process. And basically what that means is we need to go to all the spots that we marked with the marker, and we need to repair all the door dings, the dents, the scratches. As you guys can see here, we have some very weird marks that need to be puttied and fixed. And then we have a dent there. And obviously we have a huge dent on the hood that needs to be fixed. So we're gonna start doing that. Mike, what'd you say about the cat?
Well, we was over here looking at the car, we about to paint, and you know, I just think a lot. So I seen the cat crawl up Paul's leg, went up his arm, and it was a black man down here who used to work named Jerry. And I'm like, what is a coincidence that it's a black cat and he's living all over Paul? And in my mind, I'm like, this is Jerry. This is a good friend of ours. You know, he's come back as a cat. And
Yeah, because Jerry passed away, what, about 3 years ago, Paul?
yeah.
So you think that Jerry was reincarnated as a cat and he came back and now he's here again?
Yes, he is. the way the cat loved on us, and you know, cause Jerry loved us, and you see what I'm saying? I felt like his spirit was floating around, and he you know, he popped back right here at the cat. You feel me?
Hey,
But why did Jerry come back as a female cat?
He might didn't want to be a male cat. He might, you know, you see what I'm saying?
He never got the opportunity to transition. So.
You see what I'm saying? So he might, you know, just, you know, his spirit saw something that needed attention, so it could go into this. And I'm telling you, bro,
get this. Do you remember Jerry was missing a piece of his ear?
he sure was.
Yo, he was.
And look at that.
And she's missing what? Oh, that's deep right there, boys. And you know what's crazy? And it was his left ear too.
Yeah, it was his left ear.
That's,
You know what I'm saying?
dude, that is
how
weird.
Jerry would love on us. You know what I'm saying? Jerry, you know what I'm talking about, man?
Yep. Mikey might be onto something there, bud.
Oh, I already know I am. You see what I'm saying?
So we got to name her Jerry.
Her name is Jerry.
Jerry with an I. What'd you say, Mike?
I want to come back as a deer.
Why?
Because,
That way you can run out in front of my sister and let her hit you.
hey, now, you know, deers are smart. You feel me? So,
Are they?
yes.
Yeah. Is that why they keep getting hit by cars?
Well, you know, them are the ones, I don't know what's wrong with them ones.
Those are
Yeah.
the acoustic ones.
I hate them ones do that.
What are you doing, Paul? Little
Do you
PDRski?
see that dent here?
Yeah, I see it. What, you thought you pushed it out?
No, it's nowhere near as big as it was.
Oh, yeah.
You said you thought you pushed it out.
So why don't you get the dent inside the side of my truck?
The only thing we can do to your truck is put more dents in it.
Then they're gonna really think I'm smoking then, you hear me?
Small one right there.
Man, but I hate that kind of... Something.
Maybe somebody just throw me, you know? It's already much better.
Wow, so that's crazy. All that sanding that you've done, and you went through, let's see, you got a layer of, 2 layers of primer. Look what looks to be,
may be filler.
okay, let's say primer, glaze, yeah, it's pretty glaze, icing, and then that's Bondo, and then that's Bondo. So you went through 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and it's still just this one spot. So that kind of gives you an idea of how high this thing was.
It was about yay high.
Were they trying to make another bubble?
I don't know, maybe. Look, they did the job. They just didn't finish it.
What are y'all doing? What is going on here?
My dude backed into my truck sitting in the parking lot.
he back on the other side too?
No, my trailer did that.
Oh, it wasn't you, it was your trailer.
Yeah, my trailer did that. My truck rolled out the parking lot.
Did
That's
it
why I
really?
had you to fix the cable, the parking cable on it.
Hey, what about that time when you got run over by your own truck, Mike?
Oh my goodness, man. This about 3 weeks ago. I pulled up to one of my lawn houses and I guess my cable went on ahead and broke, so I had to get up on the truck. Man, when I put my truck, when I twisted that gear, my truck rolled over the block and I'm still on the ground. I was able to get up, open that door, hit the brake before my truck took off in that driveway.
And that's the second cable I've had to put on there for
Yes,
you.
sir, you did.
Did you ever clean out that cat?
No, but I'm here now. We can probably look at it. You see what I'm saying?
Might have to.
Yeah.
Before we start wet sanding the F80, we need to repair all the dents and the areas that need Bondo. I've laid down the first layer of Bondo, and as you can see, it's a very thin layer. We are going to sand that all the way back down to where we can see the bare metal around the edges. And then we will put down a layer of glaze to finish it off. And Paul is DAing the hood. Paul, you are DAing the hood with a 400 because
this hood, whoever painted it before, put sand inside their paint cup. And they gave it the sand effect. No, it's just really rough.
So it's not worth wet sanding.
No, oh, definitely not. We'll probably end up priming the whole hood.
Okay, so yeah.
I've got this entire area here that's gonna need primer, so it makes sense just to go ahead and prime with a gray primer. Then it'll help with coverage when we, because this paint is kind of gray, blue, gray. So very
Makes
similar.
sense.
It'll help with hiding it. So.
And you're gonna put down a nice layer of glaze right there and smooth all that out?
Yeah, they're actually. You know, if they would have just kept diligently sanding, you know, in the next pattern, they would have got this thing right.
That's what I'm seeing.
I think at 5 o'clock, this guy just quit and primed it, and it's not bad. It's decent. I mean, we're just gonna. I blocked this out with an 80 grit, so we'll throw some icing on it, and then you know, block out the icing and throw some primer. This is probably the worst part.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I take that back. The rear bumper's the worst.
The rear bumper.
Yeah, it's gonna need a lot more.
Oh, and we got a brand new front bumper, didn't we?
Yeah.
Let's pop that new bumper open, see what it looks like.
Take it out.
Did you see he welded it this morning, Paul?
Is this are these cracks where he did weld? Is this for like airflow?
Yeah, that's all straight airflow. So this is Dad's cooker. Even though Paul offered to give him his cooker, which is a
legitimate, you know, essentially what he's trying to build, but
on propane.
Yeah, on propane.
So he's gonna be putting kindling in here and cooking dirty rice.
I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with this thing. This thing is gonna be a forge. The bottom of his kettle is probably gonna melt. He has no way to control the fuel. I mean, this is the most ghetto. Guys, does our dad need to retire or what?
I think so.
He got nothing better to do.
Look, he came in. The only thing he did today was put these beads down on these rims, and then
take it back.
And he
left. Very zealously went and got me some parts for that car. He was very eager to go to the junkyard and get out of here and not have to weld that anymore.
Well, that's good. He got two things done today. He got his rims welded, and he got our parts.
What if we just walk this thing over to that trash can across the street and just dump it?
That would break his heart, Paul.
Would it?
Yeah. No, let him do it, man. He's having fun. All right, let's open this bumper. It's going to take a while for my Bondo to dry, so in the meantime, we're going to unbox the bumper. This bumper came from BMW of Chattanooga. Huge shout out to BMW of Chattanooga. They are always on point when it comes down to delivering parts and providing us with good service.
Hooking us up with the best price. That's what's the most important part. These guys really go above and beyond to make sure that we get a good deal on everything we buy. Fancy box, you know.
Fancy box for a fancy car.
Yeah, it unfolds like a...
Wow. Wow, a brand new, and it has the tow hook.
Yeah. See, most dealerships would charge you extra. They'd pop that off as soon as they got it from the factory, and then they would charge you an extra $30 for that.
That is freaking awesome that it has the tow hook, man. Because you know he was shipping out the tow hooks.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, I guess he's just gonna need to ship out the rear one. And I also got him to go ahead and send me all the grills and everything. That way, when we get it painted, we're just gonna go ahead and put this bumper all together because it's gonna look a lot better for the video. But yeah, man, that thing is looking really nice. And guys, these things are not cheap, but it's worth it because with the primer that's on here and how perfect everything is, all we have to do is lightly scuff it and spray it.
Just a mortgage payment, one mortgage payment.
Literally one mortgage payment, and you got
on a very small house though.
On a very small house in South Georgia. Heck yeah, it looks good, man. And as you guys can see, original BMW. So, you know, none of the aftermarket, Paul. Like you did on Vita. Yeah, you did it on Vita's car.
Whose
on
Vita?
All right, let's get back to it. Let's see if my Bondo dried. Oh man, it's gonna take a while. I need the heat. Now that our body filler is dry, we are going to apply some of this dry guide coat powder. This is a 3M product and it's very useful when you're doing any kind of body work. And basically what it does is it gets into all the fine scratches, all the pinholes and everything, and it gives you an idea of what you are working with as far as the surface goes. So we're going to get a little bit on there. You don't want to use too much of it because it literally just needs a little bit. So you rub it on just like that, all over the whole entire surface that you are going to be sanding. And as you are sanding, it will show you all the low spots and all the imperfections in the surface. The guide coat has done its job and it's shown me my low areas right here. You can see the black powder that is still here. That means that we have a very low area right here. And then the shiny metal that is shining through right here, a little bit more than over here, is a higher spot. So I need to tap down this eyebrow right here just a little bit and then apply more body filler here and sand it all down one more time, and then we will be good to go.
All right, Yuri, what's this mess you're making over here?
Man, I completely forgot how very smooth and flowable.
It's like pouring a milkshake out onto that flat pan right there.
Literally, man. But look at that. Nice and smooth. Is there any more areas that need?
Yeah, the trunk needs a little bit on the where someone put bolts that were a little too long.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and then the edge of the tag right here, yep, right there was just wearing out the paint, which I don't understand how, but
dang.
I feel like they should make they do this because of the European cars, right? The way they do this tag. I feel like if they know it's gonna go to the US, to change that and not use that little thing. Just do it like all the other normal car manufacturers.
That'll do it right there. Anything else?
Well, I think this is fine. Just needs,
yeah, that can just use some primer.
Needs primer. I think that's all the body filler that's going to go on this car.
Besides the rear bumper.
Yeah, that's going to be that's a whole job in itself.
Yep. So now that I have sanded it down right about to the stage where I need to sand it with a 180, it still needs more sanding. As you can see, the lines are almost gone, but they're still there. That means that there is still a tiny little bit of sanding left to do. But before I do any more sanding and take off that last tiny little coat, I am going to go ahead and put some finishing glaze on. And the finishing glaze, it's an Evercoat product. It's Everglaze and Spot Putty. And I'll read what it says. It's fast drying, easy sanding, fills rough spots and minor imperfections, shrink resistant, dries smooth, for use over primer surfacer. This stuff right here, basically, you don't have to mix it. It's like a lacquer based product. It air dries, and it's a really good product for these tiny little scratch lines and any kind of pinholes that you might have. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. We'll go over it with a 180 and it's going to be ready for primer. One thing you should know about this stuff, do not try to use it as any kind of body filler or for any kind of dents or anything, because this stuff right here, it dries really fast, and if you apply a very thick coat, the top coat will dry up and it will lock in all the wet stuff in the bottom and it will never dry. So what I usually do is I'll put a little bit on my spreader like this and then squeeze as hard as you can, just like that. You literally just want it in the cracks. That's it. You don't want a layer on there. Hey, what are you doing out here? You can't be out here. You can't be out here right now. Nuh-uh. You got to get locked up. because it dries really fast. And there you have it, guys. It's all coated. And if I had to compare this stuff to something, I would compare it to primer. It's basically like putting down a coating of primer and sanding it. As you can see, it's filled up all the scratches and any kind of imperfections that could be in there. And if you apply this stuff correctly, it will fill all the scratches, and it'll fill all the pinholes and everything. And you have to let it dry really good. Like you have to let it dry completely, like 100%. And you want to make sure not to fill anything that's too big. If you have a really big scratch or a really big hole, just go ahead and mix up some icing or some body filler and use it. This is literally just for scratches and imperfections, and just to basically save you some time on the priming. So I'm going to allow this to dry, and then we will sand it with a 180, and we'll feather all the edges in with a 400, because a 400 can take primer and base coat. So you want the area where your primer blends in with your base coat, you want that sanded with a 400. That way when you go back over it with the base, you won't have any scratches anywhere. I've got the entire car all lined off with tape, and I just laid the plastic down on top, and Mr. V-Tuned over here needs my help. What you got going on here, bud?
New ring windshield in the back, you know.
It's quite the mess you've made here.
Basically, what happened was I was driving on the highway and somebody threw a rock.
Why don't you tell them what actually happened?
Busted it with a key.
Yeah, boy, you need to be more careful about your key placements.
No.
All right, let's pop this thing in.
I need to go your way. Stuff there. Yep, there you go.
Perfection.
Brand new.
Brand spanking new.
You know, when you accidentally pop the windshield, it happens.
Now you gotta get it tinted. Well, there you have it. That's how easy it is to install a glass. Just like that, you just drop it in. Boom.
Not the hour of cutting off the old glass.
Yeah, we didn't show all of this that had to happen. And the mess Ben made over here. Better clean it up. I want this floor to be clean where you can eat off of it. I finished masking everything off, and I was ready for primer, and then I noticed on the side here, I guess from all the rock chips and all the driving around, there was just a bunch of, like, look, you can even still kind of see it still needs more sanding. And then right here, the people who painted this thing before never removed these trims, which they're super easy to remove. You don't even have to take off the fender liner to remove those. So I had to sand all these edges. There's clear pulling up everywhere. Anyways, so if you look right here, if we come down here, look at that surface, guys. It's just horrible. And all that's going to telegraph into our clear. And so when the customer comes to pick up his car, he's gonna be like, why is it so rough on the bottom of the door? And we are going to say, oh, that was the guy before us. But really, we should have sanded it out. So look at that, we got all that sanded off. We need some etch on that. We're about to have this thing ready. We got all these chips sanded. I think it needs some more sanding right there though. But the primer should take care of that. She's looking really good. Got every single detail taken care of. I took all these off and taped all these backs. I did not do it here because then I won't be able to get in the car. So this I'm just gonna have to carefully tape around. But it's looking really good. It's almost ready for primer.
Always very important to do that before you do anything. You don't want a big old goop, see? And you don't want it to just drop in there.
There you have it, guys. I've primed it in and I'm actually already late to a party that I was supposed to be at today. It's already almost 8 o'clock. I was supposed to be there at like 7, but it's all good, guys. Check out this primer right here. Man, it laid down so smooth. Remember how the clear coat was peeling around these edges because they didn't take off those trims? Well, now look, everything's gonna be locked in and all the rock chips are gone. The door's still actually a little bit wet, but man, everything is looking super nice. I'm loving how everything turned out. All the chips that were right there, we got out. Basically every single rock chip and every single little distressed part of the paint was fixed on this car. Like every little nick, every spot that I found, I fixed it. And as you guys can see, we wrapped it up super nice. I took the really nice Vorsteiner rims off. Everything's been pulled out of the shop besides those 2 cars, but we're not worried about those 2. Cat's been removed. Everything was removed. And look at how nice this thing has turned out. Man, I am so happy. That's gonna be it for the first part of the series, guys. Stay tuned for the next part where we will sand the F80 down and get it ready for paint. And that is going to be the actual satisfying part, because all the paint, all the prep work and all that, it's all cool and all, but it's when you get that finished product is when it's really satisfying to look at and be like, wow, it's done. Look how good it looks. And this thing is going to look absolutely amazing, guys. I got every single rock chip, basically every little imperfection that was in this car, I have fixed. And so now when we wet sand it and put sealer on top of this and then base coat, guys, it's gonna be like a brand new car on top of after we buff it out and all that. So stay tuned for that video, guys. I am super excited to get this thing done. Now it's time for me to get to where I'm going, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.